driving or you're in the passenger seat of a car.
Safety first, people.
Yeah,
Safety first.
but whatever you do is on you. So, and if not, consult your parents. All right, what's up?
Here we go.
Let's do it. Ready to have some fun? Woo! All right, so this is pretty cool. So I always see you around. You have been doing a lot of big stuff in York. So how are you with Give Local York?
Dude, this is years in the making. So excited for this. What's up, everybody?
Hi, Megan.
Hey, Megan.
What's up?
Megan's the best. Megan is the best.
Beast mode.
Heck yeah.
She's out there slaying it, man.
She's the one that made this happen. This is years in the making. There's been a lot of us in and around town that have always wanted to have a singular day to raise money for the nonprofit cycle. And you, Megan, you right there, you made this happen. So kudos to you.
Boom. Yup. Big
Good
shout
stuff.
out to Megan Hess and also the York Federal Fellows Alumni Association.
Yes.
Polo,
Much
Polo
love.
Center. Please, much love to everyone out there. And the world can't handle DK and the TheShaneTrain together. You know.
Yeah, this is dangerous, brother.
How long? We have some history in it.
Yeah. I like to call myself a little bit of an OG because I was in the garage with you.
Yeah.
So we have worked before together.
What's the difference?
Oh man, this place is fantastic. I mean, the garage was awesome because they had that sort of old school,
retro,
and it was a little punk rock vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Like I love that stuff, and we were all just hanging out there and having a good time. But being here at All Out Media, it is fantastic because it's so much. It's a worker's space. You know what I mean? Like it's really good for organizations, individuals that come in here and really see what's going on. You have so much space to work with. You have an incredible set. It just invite everybody to come here. You got to at least, if nothing else, come here and check it out. All Out Media, literally across the street from York Hospital. It is right here on George Street. You cannot beat it, man. It's a great spot.
The lights are lit up right now, so if you drive by,
it's pretty. It's pretty. They got a couple of cars lit up too, doing their thing. You got to check it out. This is a really great place. And TheShaneTrain is a badass. Can I curse? Is it all right if I curse?
Well, I mean, look, we're on air, so we're having fun. It's what time of night? 8:30, 8:20?
It's like 8. It's like what is it? 8:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those people who know me, you know, I curse, but I curse with love. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like this guy right here, he's a badass. No joke. He's a badass. He makes things happen. Megan is a badass also. And guys, seriously,
how fun we are.
GiveLocalYork.org.
I mean, you know, we get to know on a personal level.
Yeah.
And we get people around here to know, right? Like, here's the deal. People are on social media. That's where they're at. And that's where they're going to see this, right?
That's right.
So the people that are under 50, under 40, under 30, they're all on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
My kids are 22, 19, 18, and 50, and they do not watch TV. Right? They're on social.
They're all social.
So we want them to know what's going on, and they can get to know these non-for-profits. I think the non-for-profit, you know, kind of I don't want to say got lost, but what social media is doing is bringing, like I said, information and inspiration with the Kardashians, but socially strong, not bad stuff. You know, because it's the people behind the sign.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And let's talk about Let's flip this over.
Yes, baby.
Hold on. Bam. There we are.
Check it out.
So let's talk about this. We're super excited. Please share and invite. So if you don't mind sharing and inviting, do you? Okay. I'm going to start sharing and inviting.
Share and invite everybody. Come on.
And if you can't talk and share, just give me your phone, right, Megan? Right, Jess? You know, I'll get you kicked out of some groups.
You know the drill.
You know, but if people are putting you in groups, make sure you let them know that there's a purpose out there. There's people out there. This is helping York County. This is local, right?
That's right.
Because help your community, that's how you help the world.
That's exactly right. That's that. Nonprofit impact is like a pebble in the pond. Hits the pond and then it grows out. If you could start with your community, if you could start with one organization, you start with $1, the amazing ripple effect that you can do is amazing, which is why it's so great that we're doing GiveLocalYork.org. It's amazing that we're getting all these organizations. There's over 200 nonprofits happening for this. So again, shout out to Megan, shout out to the entire team putting this together. We have over 200 nonprofit organizations in York County. The impact of your dollars is directly going to be affecting here, men and women, organizations, impact here in York County. GiveLocalYork.org is the website. You got to check out, there's an amazing amount of nonprofits, a ton of great nonprofits. And for one day, May 4th, May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with
May
you.
the
It's
4th
Star
be
Wars
with you.
Day. It's GiveLocalYork.org Day.
That's right.
Come on.
That's
Y'all
right.
be a part of it. And it's going to be a continuous, we're going to have a show. We're not letting it go here, but we're firing it up. Do you know that when you lift, a rocket ship takes off, that 90% of all the energy is in the takeoff? You can look it up. In anything, 90% of the energy. That's why we are asking all hands on deck. Listen, you might just be somewhere and you say, you know what, I'll share it to my groups. I can come on every time you guys are on the show. I'm going to turn on notifications and I'll make sure I'm one of your share volunteers, right? That's important.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Everything is important that people do. There is nothing that is unimportant. We have 411,000 people in the county. This is a county-wide thing. It's not a city thing. It's a county-wide thing. If everyone gave $5, I think it's like 20 million. I don't know. But we're talking, so everyone matters, right?
That's
if
right.
we're going to say $1 million is our goal, then let's understand the potential.
That's
so
right.
we can leave the goal at $1 million. That's fine. I'm not here, but I'm saying let's understand the potential in our county at 5 ahead.
That's right. That's right. And you know what's cool about this? If you have an
It's
organization
heavy.
that you live and you love, you can give to that. But if you don't have an organization that you don't know about, you just go to
Who are they going to get to know
givelocal.org.
tonight, though? Tonight they're going to get to know
Oh, yes, baby.
So to know the food guy, right? Like, I have 3 more miles. I'm a food guy. I love food. I think a lot of people don't even know like what comfort has to do, right? And so in times in my life where I've been at certain points, I've eaten to celebrate and I've eaten to be depressed, right? And
That's right.
I don't, and
That's
sometimes I continue it instead of stopping it with an exercise or stopping it with doing something, but for real. And the chemicals in my brain, like I can feel me getting sucked into this thing where all I really feel like I got to do is like pound the food in.
That's right.
Seriously.
So here's the thing, right?
Like I've eaten a whole pizza, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, you know.
Look at me, man.
But
I know
there's
what
hope to get out. I'm just saying that's what I love about what you're doing, right? Because like we were trained to finish our plate. We were trained by people from the Great Depression that listen, they only ate meat dough on 1 day a week. Like I know people that their families only ate meat on 1 day a week. They also went in the fields and toiled for that food, right?
That's right.
So they worked, so there's a difference, but the mentality is stuck back there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's great what you're doing. And
So here's the thing, right? Okay, so food is the ultimate gathering. We all get together when it comes to food. We share a meal, we talk, it's conversation, all that kind of stuff. But here's the real. Here's the real that everybody needs to know. 40%, 40% of all the food we make, edible food in America, we throw out.
See, now that,
40%.
Man.
That's insane, right? With all this amazing amount of food, we've been at this level for a long time.
Because I think there's some because of rules.
So here's the thing. Everybody, when you first say this, you think, you think to yourself, okay, 40%. Maybe that's just the food that gets rotten and thrown out, right? That's a part of it. I'm not going to deny that's a part of it. But here's the real of this, and we've all done this.
Is any of it edible?
All of it's edible. You go to a place, right? Let's say we go to a supermarket, right? You walk in the supermarket, and you're going to make yourself a salad, and you're going to go out and you go buy the red tomatoes, right? You go over to the red tomatoes, you go to the tomato pile, and what do? We all grab this stuff, and we look, and we want the roundest, reddest, ripest tomato we can find. And why not? You're buying it, right? So you're going to look at stuff and you're going to say, that one's not for me. That's got a bump, a bruise, kind of a weird thing. And we put it aside, right? We put it aside. And we all take the very, very best. And why not? Why shouldn't we, right?
Tim, Adam, Jen, the curious little playhouse,
Arius,
wicked sticker.
Hey, Jen Swarmer, what's up, my beautiful baby? Woo! Good stuff. Hey, so listen to this. So when we throw out all this food, we throw it out because of cosmetics, right? It's a cosmetic thing. If a tomato has a bruise on it, we don't think that that's good because why not? We're buying it. We want a really good tomato. Yeah. And so we pass on it. And so think about that. All the tomatoes that are bought in the world, think about all the ones that are passed on. What do we do with that? Very often it's just thrown away. Take it a step further. When the store buys the food from a farmer, and it shows up like that Giant pulls up in the truck in the back and they take it out, there's a quality assurance right there. There's a ton of places that they pull out food that is weird, it's got a weird bump, it's got a weird, it's a green pepper, but it's got an extra bump on it, so it looks kind of weird. They don't even bring it out front. That never gets to us because they know the consumer wants the perfect green pepper, the perfectly looking green pepper. And so the ugly food gets cast aside. Now imagine We take all that food from restaurants, bars, caterers, hotels, farms, any place around your county that has all this extra, this surplus food that we throw out. Imagine if we took all that food back to a centralized kitchen and repurposed that food. Because you know what? If there's a big old bruise on that tomato, I still got 90% good tomato. If I cut that thing out, cut that thing up into a salad, it's a great damn tomato, right? So imagine we took all that food and repurposed this stuff to bring it back out to our brothers and sisters who are on a little bit of a difficulty right now, are trying to find food. Think about it this way, Shane.
Yeah, the one, the only DK.
Hey, woo! Think about this. We have amazing homeless shelters. We have amazing places like this. They have to fundraise. They have to raise all this money to buy food to help their brothers and sisters who are having struggles, right? They have to do this. And so they're spending a lot of time and effort and money to spend all this food. Yet 40% of all food in America we're throwing out. There's an amazing abundance of food. What we need is an ability to take that food, bring it back to a centralized kitchen, repurpose that food, and bring it back out so men and women can have a great meal. A hot, healthy, locally sourced meal, by the way. No more of this frozen fish stick crap, right? We don't need that anymore. We can get a great-ass salad. Bring that back out into the community.
I love
it. Here's the hook. Now, this is what makes this fun. That alone got me jazzed. That alone would get me jazzed, right? So who's going to do this? That's the big question I first asked. Who's doing this?
I could say culinary students doing it, like coming and having a way to go through. So now they're doing it, and now you can have people that want to give back. I could use inmates that are in jail on work release. That listen, our prisons are full of people. We need to have them doing. So this is a great way for them to get back in the community.
It's like you're setting me up, man. This is good stuff.
Well, I'm just,
here it is.
I have seniors that don't have anything to do that would love to cook, would love to deliver, would love to serve.
There are so many men and women out there who have barriers to employment, right? They are homeless or in housing transition. They're coming out of drug and alcohol rehab. They're coming out of prison. These men and women have difficulty finding jobs.
They're still human, right?
Absolutely. And all they need is a little bit of education.
And hope.
That's right.
Opportunity and hope.
Resources and assets. It's the same thing, baby. So we're going to bring those men and women in.
Share an advice, and can I use your phone and
share an invite? What are you guys doing? Make sure you share an invite.
I'm ready to have a share.
Now, the full disclosure here. This is a BlackBerry, so I don't know if you can handle the BlackBerry. It's a whole different world, man. I'm like a space alien with this stuff. Like I'm the only guy in York County.
You just get me to our page when we're live. We're gonna have fun. But listen, at the end of the day, you know what I love about this whole thing is we're learning that first of all, I know a lot of people in non-for-profits that work during the day, do volunteer, people that give resources, people that didn't know they had a place to give. They wanted to, at the end of the older you get in life, the more the value of time and purpose come up.
That's right.
Right? And so the great thing is getting to know this. This is huge for me. I've seen a video of some restaurant where this guy him and his wife fed the town single-handedly with their restaurant instead of throwing the food away.
That's right.
And they would just go around and feed.
We are not asking men and women who live and work in the food service industry. We're not asking them to give us extra food. If they want to donate real extra badass amounts of food, more on you. That's great. We love it. We're talking about just the surplus that's happening. We're talking about the food that you would
throw
in.
Hey, Psycho Bats, Tim Psycho, we're going to take a swing at hunger?
That's right.
40%.
Right.
So
hunger,
the opportunity is there.
You're on notice.
Is there, right?
That's right.
Like, we'll get 40% slow balls out there, right?
Heck yeah.
Like, and this isn't a fastball game. There's slow ball pitches, underhand pitches that are out there, and we're not taking them.
We'll knock this out of the park.
Right?
No
Everyone's looking at the fastball, saying the strikeouts, and you're saying, wait. Every time someone slow ball pitches,
That's right.
You don't know that there's 4 out of 10 that we could be hitting out of the park.
That's right. The opportunity is there. And by the way, if you want to get in the Hall of Fame for baseball, you only got to hit 300. So we know we can do it.
So we know we can do it. This is real stuff.
But here's the other part of this that's really cool. So those men and women that are in homeless shelters, that are drug and rehab.
Dave, Victoria.
Hey, what's up, Vic? Hey.
Boom. So you can look at that to shout people out because they want to hear you say hi to them.
Oh, right.
I'll have them look every once in a while.
Kate Hall. Much love, Kate Hall. I love you. Hey, Ginger. Hey, Ginger. Peppers. Oh, Peppers is a great place. Oh, Caribbean chicken.
Yum.
Forget about it. There's great stuff. Hey, let me finish this, though. So the people who are going to make these food items turn into meals, this is the hook that I love. We're going to invite men and women that are homeless transitional housing, coming out of prison, drug and alcohol rehab. We're going to invite them to come into that kitchen to produce the food to help others that are having struggles. And we're going to do this in a 14-week culinary job training program. So they're going to learn knife skills and life skills. They're going to learn
skills and life
what it means to cut carrots, but they're also going to mean what it means to come on time, to dress for success, to make sure they're ready for the jobs of the future. And then, when they get done with this, and we're going to have, trust me, man, you guys, all our media is going to probably cover this too, by the way. We're going to have a killer graduation. I mean, a serious graduation, where we're going to put the pomp and circumstance in the whole thing. We're going to make sure everybody is celebrating the success that these men and women did. And then the next thing we do, we put them in jobs. And what jobs? The men and women of our culinary job training program, we're going to put them in jobs in the food service program. The same places that are donating food to us,
I love it.
We're going to get them jobs.
And you know what? I would love to get our donuts there on Fridays. Huh?
There you go.
Like, seriously, nothing against anyone else, but I want to go so deep and so far with the funds we have. You know, we raise those funds.
Heck yeah.
150 a week. We've gone up to 500. But how cool, and I've said this, I'm not in the donut business or the bacon business, but we would love to have a place, you know, at that level. See, it's tiers, right? It's all the levels that this is incorporated. That is awesome. If you're not sharing and inviting this, I do have to say, here's the deal about sharing and inviting. When you first got on social media, we didn't know what to do. We were playing Mafia Wars, we were playing Crash, we were doing all stuff, right? So we went to people in high school, right? Because they gave us options. Here's, you know, and it changed. So then we changed, and then we're like, well, now these people are looking at everything I'm doing. I don't know what to do. I'm saying, listen, the best way to figure out your list is make sure that people are part of what you're doing.
That's right.
This is a big give. This helps people seamlessly in our community. And here's another example where business, private people, government, and the non-for-profit sector are the glue to make your community shine.
That's
but it does take sharing and inviting. I'm not going to joke around. You know, people complain about the media, and I'm like, look, what? But share and invite when you have things that are worthy of sharing and inviting.
That's right.
We bring you the inspiration, the information with the Kardashians, but socially strong. We bring you reality that's good reality. It's our reality, and we share you to be a part of it.
That's
we want you to come down on the floor. We want you to be a part of GiveLocalYork.org. We want you to be a part of this amazing program right here, the York Empowerment Shop.
That's right, that's right. The thing about this is a lot of times I get questions on this, and I try to put them in buckets. So let's think about economics for a second. You own a business, right? You own a restaurant. The number one thing that you're always fighting is hiring people, hiring good people. And when you hire somebody, you got to train them. So one thing that we're doing is we're saying to the restaurant groups and to the caterers and to the bars, restaurants, hotels, is what if I can provide to you men and women who have gone through training, a serious training. They're going to understand the knife skills of this, and they're going to understand the life skills. They understand what it means that if you're at 9 o'clock, you better be there at 8:30. You got to be at 8:45 ready for the meeting. 9 o'clock means you're there ready to go. We're going to teach, and we're going to make sure we inspire men and women to understand that that is as important as understanding the knife skills of cutting up a carrot, cutting up celery, whatever it is, stirring the pot.
But the number one reason people stay somewhere is recognition. When people are invested, listen, the reason that immigrants are 4 more times likely to succeed than people born here on the land of milk and honey with gold paved roads is because they are grateful, right? So when the other part of this hiring thing, and I don't want people to miss this, you've already emotionally invested in them, right?
Oh, that's right.
So good people are going to feel indebted and grateful. So there's a different thing there.
That's right.
And when you lay them an opportunity path, that changes everything.
Here's the thing that might get me in trouble. And I don't mind this because I like to call myself a positive disruptor, right? I might get in trouble in this. But I'm going to tell you this right now. One of the words that we're going to ban from Yes is the word charity. And here's why. There's nothing about this that's charitable. The men and women who come into this program are going to work hard because they're going to earn this amazing amount. Hey, Leah. Hey, they're going to earn everything that they get. Because the celebration of this,
people want to, though.
That's right.
The thing is, nobody wants this whole thing of, nobody wants a charity. Nobody wants freebies. People want a bridgeway. People want a pathway.
That's right. That's right.
So the people don't want freeways.
No. They want to liberate themselves from the situation that they're in.
A lot
Here's
of people
another
don't even
truth.
take stuff. If there is no
No.
way that they're invested, they won't do it.
No, here's another truth, and this is a hard truth that sometimes we can't handle. We cannot feed our way out of hunger. We can't. We can't feed our way out of hunger. And we know this because we have an abundance of food. We have an abundance of food. We have, especially here in York,
Dave,
York County.
hi.
Hey, Dave, what's up, my man? Yeah.
Derek, what's up, Derek? Come on, man.
We can't feed our way out of hunger, but you know what we can do? We can liberate men and women from the poverty cycle. What we have is we have a very often...
How many slow balls are we throwing away?
Oh my
We're
God.
not even putting a batter up. Every time someone throws a fastball,
Do we even need this?
right, we have people up. And then when we have someone throwing a slow pitch, we're like, don't get up. But for real, that's what it's like though in the mind, right?
That's right.
40%, that's we and you're addressing it, not complaining about it. And that's what I
That's
love.
right. Let's talk math for a second. Watch this, all right?
Share and invite.
If you are a prisoner in York County, Pennsylvania, it costs $43,000, roughly, $43,000 a year to have somebody incarcerated, right? And that's 3 squares doing whatever they do and work, and sometimes they get a GED and some other things programmatically, but that's all based on budgets. So sometimes that stuff is cut. But at the end of the day, we have to house men and women who are incarcerated. When they get out, then they have this barrier to employment because they have to mark on the box, yes, I've been incarcerated. Okay. Well, imagine if that same person, we can get them trained and placed in a job, then that same person who is costing the taxpayers $43,000 a year is now working. And
if
then...
you fell off your bike when you were a kid, you have to put that down on your resume. I fell off the bike.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean,
the
I
box
fell
is so
off the
silly.
bike 10 years ago, so can I ride a bike?
That's right. So this person now, we pay
I got a speeding ticket.
43 grand.
My license.
Now check this out. If we get them a job, they're paying employee tax. They're actually putting money into the coffers. So we go from all of us having to pay $43,000 to give them an 8x10 cell to somebody who's actually working and putting money into the pot for all of us, the good of the order. I mean, just the math on this alone makes sense. If 40% of the food we throw out, if we can capture even half that food, it's an amazing amount of food we can make. If you are a homeless shelter, right now, if you're a homeless shelter, think how much you spend on creating food. You're probably fundraising to it. You have to hire staff. You have to have volunteers to make this happen. And you're constantly fundraising. Well, what if I can come to a homeless shelter and say, hey, whatever it is your cost is, I can get you better food, locally sourced right here in York County, and do it at half, if not more, than half the cost. That's an amazing savings. You can then go back to your donors as a homeless shelter and say, hey, our value of the donation that we're giving to this homeless shelter is so much better because we don't have to have that much expense, but we're still providing good meals.
I watch people, when I drive down George next to our Daily Bread, they stand out there in the cold, and I'm like, I can't believe we don't have buildings or places. These people are out here in the cold just waiting for whatever food is left by the time they get there.
I'm glad you brought this up because here's the other thing. Groups like Our Daily Bread, food banks, all these kind of things. We are not at Yes going to be competing against these folks. What we're going to be doing is working with them. A food bank is a fantastic idea, and they do long-term, they do big storage, big bins of rice, big bins of cans, all that kind of stuff, and then they distribute it out to community centers and churches and homeless shelters and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be the #1 fan of those things because you know what we do?
Working together.
We take that can of food and we crack that thing open and we make that food, boom, it goes out in meals right away. We're about short-term storage. Nothing about us is long-term. We get the food in, turn it back out. We go right away.
This is filling a need and adding value. See, here's what I tell people. I can always identify some. Are they filling a need and adding value?
Mm-hmm.
And it's there.
That's right.
The soft pitch is there. We're looking at the fastball, right? We're waiting for government to fix something where there's a softball pitch. It's just, and here's the thing: we have the brains, we have the resources, and now we have I call these places like hubs to go for these things.
That's right.
Boom.
That's right. We have the food. We know we have the food. We're throwing away 40% of our food, so we know we have the food. We have the men and women.
This is getting people fed without going more acres, right? Because we only have so many acres.
No,
we're
that's
just
right.
taking the food that comes off those acres and getting to more people.
That's right. This food is already being produced. It's already going to
Are
market.
you saying hi to everyone?
This is
Jeremy
the
Black.
hey, Hey, Jeremy, what's up? Hey, yes, baby. Woo!
Share and invite. Is it okay if they share and invite?
Heck yeah, share and invite this. Check out our website too, yesyork.org. Get information on that.
We're talking about givelocal.org.
Heck yeah, Give Local. So we are so proud to be part of Give Local New York. So on May 4th, May the 4th be with you, we are one of many, over 200 nonprofits that are part of the day. So if I may, can I break down what Give Local New York is? Okay,
Yeah.
so one day, 24 hours, we are going to do a super push for everyone worldwide to give to York County nonprofits. For 24 hours, you have the ability to go to givelocalyork.org, and for that, you can choose any of the over 200 nonprofits that are there and give whatever you feel is important. Make sure you give. It's like Chicago politics, baby. Give early and give often. You can give all the time you need. And you can pick an organization that you love. You can search it by different styles. So they have a whole drop down. So if you want to talk about the environment, you want to talk about the arts, you want to talk about food, you want to talk about anything that nonprofits do, there's a search for that and you can check it out. Or if you have one that you love, make sure you give on the 4th. Make sure you give online. So you got to go to givelocalyork.org.
Oh.
You got to go to the site because what we do is we count every donation that comes. And then here's the cool part. We have organizations that have sponsored this who are going to do a stretch pool. And the stretch pool is when there's a match. They can match up dollars for dollars and really increase the value of your individual donation. And here's another thing. There's an amazing amount of sponsors that are sponsoring ours. So like if a nonprofit organization raises the most money within a certain period, like a 1 hour time period, like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., they'll get additional dollars in support because a nonprofit organization's charitable giving increases because a for-profit group has sponsored that hour. So huge shout out
Jessica,
to all the
shout out to you.
sponsors.
She's always on here. Jessica,
Much love.
Appreciate you.
What's up,
Serena
Jessica?
McFadden,
Hey,
what's up?
hey,
Jessica,
Sherry,
Suzanne, always on here. Appreciate it. Is this a human effort?
This is all about human, baby.
Oh, right.
This is
like
all about
there's a
human.
flat line. That's what I love about it. I was like, yo, we're a flat line. Like you can get divided where you want, but we're staying flat. We're staying human. That's what I love.
That's right.
Because the humans take care of the land. If you're in the land preservation, the humans take care of the history. They take care of the water, to the fish, to the animals, to the food. Right. And we need everyone to get to yes.
That's right.
GiveLocal.org.
The strength of our community is in the giving that we do. Whether it's money or sweat equity, it doesn't matter. If you give to an organization, if you give yourself, your time, your talent, your treasure, if you can support an organization, believe me, another thing I say a lot, no profits without nonprofits. Every for-profit organization, you need a great, strong nonprofit groups to be a part of your community because that's what makes the community move. You like a rail trail? That's a nonprofit supporting.
Oh yeah, we're gonna find out. Hey,
you have a great house of worship? That's a nonprofit. If you like the arts, that's a nonprofit. Anywhere you look, anything that impacts your organization, nonprofits are running the show.
It sounds like it's time to be superheroes. We need people on the fourth. Come on, man. Right? We need people. Everyone has superhero, right? A share and invite 10 to get in. Come on, may the fourth be with you. Let me get my cape on.
That's right.
Thank you to Jess and the Girl Scouts. May the fourth be with you. Come on,
Yeah,
girl.
that's nice. That's nice right there. Look at that. That is
Come
good.
on.
That is good.
Right? But
Be a hero. Be a hero and donate.
Take the swing.
Yeah, don't be
at
afraid
the
to come up to bat.
nonprofits.
Don't
Get
be
to them.
afraid. Don't be afraid.
10 to get in for $10. You go to a fair and there'll be a prize. No, seriously, right? And we're saying this is a virtual thing.
That's
Come
right.
on, for $10 you can swing. You can swing at the yes. You can swing at the pull. We want you to come down first Friday, right?
Here's the thing.
Can you win things to give your organization a choice? Can someone win a prize and be like, yeah, I want to go to yes?
Heck yeah.
Come
We'll
on,
take
man.
it. We'll take it. Yeah, let me throw this out too.
How about flash mob?
If you're flash mobs, who doesn't like flash mobs? Hey, look, if you don't like what Yes is about, if you're not into
What? Come on, man. Come on,
if
man.
you're not into that, don't worry about it because there's over 200 nonprofits there.
Man.
You're gonna find something that you love.
And that's what they all say about the nonprofit. That's what business is. You run your business like a non-for-profit, you'll have more money to give the non-for-profit.
There's something magical about the impact that the nonprofit sector does.
Fills you
and
up.
The only way that nonprofits operate is because of the love and care of their support of their community. So if you have a second, please, I would love for you to go to givelocalyork.org, check out the website, look at the leaderboard. Right now, the leaderboard is set up alphabetically. You can see every single nonprofit that has registered for this. When that goes live,
share and invite.
If it goes live on midnight on the 4th, what that leaderboard will turn into is you will see in real time how many nonprofits have gotten so much money, they're up on the leaderboard. So you can see where your organization is. You can see the impact that's happening. And all of this is because of the love and care of this community. Megan, much love to you.
Look,
you're doing great stuff.
We're thirsty for giving. You know what people are thirsty for? For getting to know the humans behind the signs.
Heck yeah.
Listen, this is what I'm telling people. People, you can have all the great websites, right? And this is epic. I do love this. But until people get to know who's behind it, it has much more impact. And why not take the media and be a part of All Live Media and Give Local York? Because you can harness this for the good.
That's right.
This is a gateway. That's how I met everybody that I pretty much am a part of. Including my wife, who I've been with for 12 years, is through social media.
Hey.
So love you, Christy.
Christy!
You know, it's an effort, right? Like, it takes everybody involved. It takes everyone rowing the boat. You might not be able to row the boat, but you might be able to sand the boat. You might not be able to row the boat,
right.
but you might be able to patch the boat. You might not be able to row the boat, but you might be able to tell the map and tell us where to go when we're rowing. So we need everyone. You might not be able to row the boat, but you might be able to give us food when we take a break from rowing the boat,
That's
right?
right. That's right. You may be saying to yourself, I don't have a lot of money. I don't give that much because I don't make a lot of money. You think that philanthropy is about the riches when you have a lot of money and you give it back? No.
Here.
Philanthropy is all about heart. And believe you me, $10, a $10, a $10, one Hamilton can change a life. So trust me, what you can do with this impact is amazing. And here's another challenge I would say to you. Regardless of this video, maybe not even this video, if you go to givelocalyork.org, put that up on your newsfeed and social media, and just ask everybody to check it out. Trust me, I put money on this. They will be impacted by this website. They'll be excited about this.
The Powder Mill Foundation, the York County Community Foundation, People's Bank, the Arthur J. and Lee R. Gladfelder Foundation, Fox 43, the York Federal Fellows Alumni Association, Bob Polo, Megan Hess.
York Federal Fellows. Big shout out to the Alumni Association.
Yes,
they stood up and said,
they
we'll
got
do
an
this.
army out there.
They're going to make this, and a special shout out to Bob Polo.
Yes.
He was the visionary who, when sitting down and hearing about this, said, I will put in. I will put in for this. I will make sure this happens. And this is only happening because our dear friend Megan Hess is making this happen. Megan, much love.
Go get a pretzel.
Much love to you.
Nice, salty.
Get a pretzel.
Yeah, go get a pretzel.
York City Pretzel Company. Go get a pretzel.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
No, they're delicious.
They're really good.
Dipping sauce. Get the mustard one. They're really good. Brown mustard.
Yeah, the mustard one's good.
Yeah.
That's Philly style right there.
Yeah,
that's
right
pretzel.
there. Yep.
Look, the thing about this is this
JJ
will only.
McKee, what's up, man?
JJ Ray, what's up? The only thing about this, the only way this is going to work, the only way this works, is if you get active. Teddy Roosevelt has the best phrase. I call it get action.
Come on.
I love that phrase. I love that idea. Get action. You have to be active. It's an active movement thing.
That's what the Moonshot took.
Whether it's giving money, whether it's sharing a website, whether it's telling your story to somebody else. There's somebody out there right now who's unclear if this is something they should do, and you can be the one to turn the key on this. You can actually go to them and say, let me tell you a story about Give Local York. Let me tell you a story about a nonprofit I know that's a part of it. Or let me tell you about a friend of mine who's a part of this. If you know us or you don't, you know somebody who would love to hear this story. And that's the obligation we're asking from you right now, is to just think about your network. Think about who you know. Think about who cares about York County, cares about our community, cares about our kids, making sure what's the next generation going to get that we didn't have. You can do this right now, man. GiveLocalYork.org.
Come on, man. This guy's a rock star.
Come on, you're up.
He's awesome. You know,
batter up, baby. You're up.
There. Man, whether it's a lobster roll he's showing a great picture of out there. I mean, you guys that are out there showing awesome pictures on social media, you're my hero, right? I want all of you to join on social media. This is where we control our environment. You know what? Practice is controlled failure, right? So this is great practice. Get out there. This is a loving community that will help lift you up. No one's here competing except competing to get to 20 million. So yeah, millions our goal for the first phase, but this thing's going all the way. We're not stopping.
The power of the nonprofit sector is that each of us in our own